Next category here is marksman rifles. These are a joke. None of them are usable. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to give my perspective and Tanner's going to go. So, in my view, marksman rifles are a complete fucking joke. None of them are usable under almost any circumstances. With two maybe exceptions. Maybe exceptions. Number one, maybe exception. The car, for whatever reason, which makes no sense, by the way, is a one-shot headshot down in Warzone on a fully armored opponent. Why? Don't know. Have no idea. So for that very niche purpose, assuming you're going to be clicking on kids' heads, hey, is Siegel of Overwatch Genji main notoriety watching this stream? The car is going to be great for you, dude, because you can aim well. You can aim professionally well, and you can reliably shoot people in the head. Everyone else listening, don't use a car. Don't use a car. The very niche purpose where it can be better than other guns is that you can get a one-shot headshot down in Warzone on a fully armored opponent. And it's the only weapon that can do that is faster than an AX-50 or an HDR. K. But that's it. That's the only redeeming quality of the car. And then the SKS.
Is that at any range?
I think it is, which makes no sense.
That sounds like it wasn't intentional.
Well, we never know with Infinity Ward, right? We just never know. Who knows if it was intentional? Who knows if it will be reverted? Don't know. Makes no sense, by the way, because the Rytech AMR, which is a 50 caliber anti-materiel rifle, by the way, is not always a one-shot headshot down on a fully armored opponent. But the Kar 98, designed in the fucking 40s or something, which does not shoot a 50 caliber bullet, by the way, is always a one-shot headshot down.
That is so funny.
Welcome to Infinity Ward Studios here in Anaheim, California. My name is This Makes No Sense. Welcome to fucking Neverland, where nothing makes sense. So dumb. So anyways, the car can be good. Second point on marksman rifles, the SKS. I don't know what to think of this gun. It's a one-shot headshot at very long range in multiplayer, which means it's potentially extremely good because it has a 0 millisecond time to kill. But it's also quite bouncy. And I'm just not sure if I think it's really good in multiplayer or awful. I don't really know what to think of the SKS.
Yeah.
So you can make a case for the SKS, but outside of those two weapons, Mark II, complete garbage. Crossbow, kill yourself in game if you unironically use a crossbow. And then what's the fifth? Is there a fifth? EBR, also way too bouncy.
That's the worst gun in the game.
Way too bouncy to be good. It's fucking garbage. So you had a different opinion than me, which makes me...
It was only regarding the car.
It makes me incensed. Read a book. So go ahead, Tanner, retard.
Okay. My initial thoughts on the marksman rifles is that they have them completely wrong in this game. So marksman rifles, we should be able to use them at long ranges, right? But in this game, no, it's the opposite. Hey, are you using an SKS, an MK2, an EBR? Great, but don't expect to kill people outside of 20 meters because they're shit. They have too much recoil. They're hard to control. They do a lot of damage up close. So the way you have to use them is the opposite of the way you should be using them. And that's where they have everything wrong. Now, the car is a little different. The car should be in the sniper category, really. I get whatever. It belongs in the sniper category more than the marksman category. But again, that's one of those things. I'm seeing a lot of people use the Kar 98 right now in Warzone. And so you said none of them are usable, which is wrong. Because again, I keep seeing clips of the Kar 98 being used in Warzone. But it's one of those things again. Okay, great. It one-shots people. But with snipers in Warzone, you're not getting headshots often unless the person is standing still, which doesn't happen often, right? So
Correct.
in that case, an AX50 or an HDR, I think, is still better because you can reach out and touch people a little bit further. It's. I feel like people use some of these guns because they want like the quick scoping shit. They think they're
World
playing.
War II.
Yeah, they think they're playing Call of Duty 2, some old game like that. But that's not the way it is.
Agreed. Okay.
So, AX50 and HDR snipers are always going to be better than the car.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I think there's just a lot of testing going on now. People are trying to feel things out still, and we're seeing clips like, "Oh, this gun's so good, it's overpowered in Warzone." It's not. It's just there was a weapon update 2 days ago, so people are testing everything.
Agreed. And I think another reason people are using the car a lot is because, especially if you're a content creator, and these are the only people whose clips you will see on social media, you want to go for the wacky, fucking insane, cool clip. And what's the cool thing to clip on Warzone? Getting an Iron Sights car squad wipe by headshotting 3 people in a row. Does that mean it's good? Absolutely fucking not. Because if you could do that, you would have killed them much more easily with 10 other guns. But it's clippable and it's cool. And I think another reason people are using the car a lot is because it can be good and people are fucking bored. And they're getting tired of using a Grau MP5 match after match after match after match. So they just want to mix it up. So then they go for like a little bit of a challenge mode and they use the car. But to say it's good is absurd, in my opinion. So moving on to snipers proper. These are pretty much fine, in my opinion, I guess. There aren't that many snipers, so it's pretty small category. But for example, the AX50 and the HDR are both very good. They are completely balanced between each other, and they function as expected and as they should. The AX50 is not better than the HDR, nor is the HDR better than the AX50. They are perfectly balanced and do different things, and you can get different things out of each one depending on what your goals are. And I think that is the pinnacle of what you want for weapon balance. Things that do different things, but but there isn't one that's better than the other. It's just different for different scenarios, different situations, and different play styles. Pretty much with me on that one, Tanner?
Yep.
Okay.
AX50 is for, I think, faster paced players, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, AX50 is undoubtedly better in multiplayer, but when it comes to Warzone, it's a toss-up on what you're going for.
I
like the handling of the AX50 better.
Yeah. The only way the HDR is better in multiplayer is if you're playing on Tovorsk. Because there are sniper shots that you can hit on Tovorsk that are greater than 100 meters, in which case the AX50 will not be a one-shot kill unless you headshot, and the HDR will be. So the HDR, you can make an argument it's better on Tovorsk, but pretty much every other scenario, AX50 is probably better in multiplayer. But in Warzone, they're much more balanced between each other. The Dragunov is shit. It used to be pretty good until they nerfed it for God knows why, and it can no longer one-shot headshot people even in multiplayer. So now there's no reason to ever use a Dragunov, which is insanely dumb. And then this brings us to the Rytec AMR, which is the new sniper rifle. Locap and I forgot to talk about this on the last pod, but
shit co-host.
Well, yeah, he didn't bring it up to me, so blame Locap. Tweet at Lokipo, tell him he's shit. And you haven't used this at all, Tanner? Am I correct?
No.
Okay.
No, and I'm not going to use it ever, so.
We'll keep that in mind.
Don't care.
So I've used it. I have it max level. It is semi-automatic, and it is 50 cal. And in multiplayer, 98% of the time, it's a one-shot kill. So it has less range than the AX50 and the HDR, but not much less than the AX50 is the impression I'm getting. And the advantage it has over the AX50, of course, is that it's semi-auto. It's not bolt action. So the refire rate is higher, a lot higher. And again, this is a great way to balance a sniper rifle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not good at extreme distances. It's not going to be the sniper to use on Tovorsk, But in every other multiplayer scenario, it's very good. And again, it's not overpowered because it lacks that distance. But weirdly, it's terrible in Warzone because it is not reliably a one-shot headshot, which I alluded to when we were talking about the car. Don't know why, but it isn't. So don't use it in Warzone. Is the thrust of that argument. And then there are also explosive and thermite rounds. These strike me as largely completely useless. So those are my thoughts on snipers in general and on the Rytech AMR. Very fun and very good in multiplayer though. If you're sniping on pretty much any map except for Tovorsk, I think Rytech is actually the best sniper. Unless you're trying to be a quickscope kitty, because it doesn't have many attachments to increase your ADS speed. So,
what does it do to vehicles? Does it do anything special?
Well, if you put on explosive or thermite rounds, it'll explode or attach thermite to them.
So does that actually do a lot of damage, or is it okay?
Yes, it does. It does a lot of damage.
It does. Okay.
And the selling point is they travel fast enough to evade trophy systems. So in theory, in Warzone, some kid has a trophy on his rover. You have thermite rounds. You can blow it up even though it has a trophy on it in Warzone and get a bunch of kills. Is that worth a fucking weapon slot? Absolutely fucking not. But it
takes 5 shots to destroy a helicopter? Ooh.
Which is... And I don't know if Locap's talking about thermite or explosive rounds. I don't know if he tested both. I suspect thermite rounds would actually kill vehicles faster, or with fewer shots, excuse me, than explosive rounds. But I don't know.
Dude, what if we had a whole squad using those? Helicopter would be dead in under 2 seconds. They wouldn't even know what happened. True.
We would also all be using a Rytech as our second.